First, trade war should be avoided at all costs. Trade war only make losers. There's no winner in a trade war. Everybody loses and people lose. You may have job losses, you may have slowdown of the economy, you may have financial issues because of the trade war. So I hope, frankly, that the leaders of these two great countries will come to an agreement and bring stability back on the global markets. Of course, as I've said in Quebec recently, we are not immune from this. These countries are so important that everything that they do or don't do has an impact on us because we are so much dependent on trade. Quebec's population is only 8.3 million people, so we need exports. We need to export, we need access to markets. Everything that will close the markets is bad news for Quebec. Well, of course, now we are in a new phase of the global economy of knowledge, brain, talent is the name of the game, not so much natural resources as before. So we will keep pushing on our education system and innovation in artificial intelligence, which, as you know, is very, very big now in Montreal particularly. This gives you a big advantage. So having a big focus on education, training, lifelong training, and innovation is absolutely essential. We'll also continue to push on advanced manufacturing, exports, of course, and entrepreneurship. We need more young people to start much more new businesses. First thing that I want to say is even in 4 years, because I went in 2014 and went back at the beginning of 2018, I found significant differences on the positive side compared to my first visit. The progress is obvious. Technology now is in cities, at least cities are rich with technology. Young people, you see, are very entrepreneurial. They want to start their businesses. They want to study abroad or in China. So you see the progress of the country accelerating. For us, the most significant factor is the size of what's called the middle class in China. In China, middle class meaning people having a home, car, wanting to take holidays and having certain goods that before they could not buy. It's 300 million people. So we absolutely need to access that market with what we have to offer. And when I went to China, of course, we talked about new technology, innovation, but also, for example, winter sports. It's a big economic sector, winter sports, and I found lots of interest among the Chinese people for winter sports. That's one example. Tourism as well. We have a significant number of Chinese tourists now every year in Quebec. We're very happy about this. Actually, we want more. So we will invest to develop our attractions so they will even be more driven to visit Quebec. Well, first, if we talk about people from China, business people from China coming to Quebec to invest, they receive lots of help from Invest Quebec and other government agencies that are there specifically to look for investment and facilitate investment. That's for sure. Now, in both ways, whether it's Quebecers going to China or Chinese going to Quebec, it's always good to have a local partner to start your new business, because you don't exactly know the subtleties of society, how business is conducted in a very different culture. And also we have helps like tax credits or certain fiscal policies that will facilitate investment in Quebec. And the status, the health of our public finances is excellent now. We have a balanced budget, lower debt. Everything is looking bright now in Quebec economically, which is also attractive for foreign investors. Well, first we will start by reminding people of our successes during the first term, because we did exactly what we said we would do. We've balanced the budget, we reduced the debt. We are going to create 250,000 jobs, which everybody said was not possible when we started way back in 2014. Our education system is better, our healthcare system better. We have more enterprises now and more innovation in Quebec. So that's the first part. The second part is a project for Quebec. So it's going to be centered around education, quality of life, and equity in society. Quebecers are quite attached to a more equitable society. Yes, they want progress, they want a better economy, but they want it to be better shared among all levels of society. So education comes first, and then quality of life, public transit, work-life balance as well is important for us, and equity. We have an anti-poverty plan which is quite ambitious, healthcare systems as well, dedicated to take care of the elderly, handicapped people in a special way. If you're a citizen of this country, you have the right and the privilege to vote, so you should exercise this right and this privilege. My message to them is very simple. Quebec is doing very well, much better than in 2014. If you want this to continue, well, please help us and get a second term. So go out and vote on October 1st, next October 1st. That would be my call. So, for example, our universities come first. So we have lots of foreign students in our universities, lots of Chinese students. I also want young Quebecers to go out and study in China, so they learn the language, for example. We have a few now. It's increasing every year. As I mentioned earlier, we have specific measures on the fiscal side to facilitate investment, help people with projects to start a business, open a new service, partner with a Quebec business person already operating. So we have a variety of tools that we can use. They just need to come and see us. Of course, we have no trade dispute with China. The relationship is quite good. What is more worrisome is what's happening between the U.S. and China, and hopefully, as I said earlier, that needs to be resolved for the sake of the world, not only for China and the United States. People have to know also that in Quebec, French is our official language. So when you deal with government, it's always good either to speak French yourself or to have a partner, a local partner that can do this with you. That would be a very important advice. But Chinese people are used to making business all around the world. You have Chinese business people in Africa, in Asia, of course, in Europe. They have been doing this for decades. So I have full confidence in their ability to also adapt to the local culture.
Okay.